Hello everyone and welcome to the Zelda Cast here on ZeldaDungeon.net. My name is Andy Spiteri, joined by Allison Aletha, and also obligated to introduce this man, the host of our YouTube content, Mr. Corey Richmond. How are you, Corey? It's been a while since you graced us on this show.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. I'm here, I'm gracing you with my presence. I like to say it every time. Every now and then, this show needs a splash of Richmond common sense.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So I'm here.
It's going to be a long hour, Al, I think.
Usually these episodes that we do go over too, so it might be a long hour and a half.
Dude, not to sidetrack, but we did an episode of Omega last week, and this thing was 2.5 hours long. And
oh my god.
I was about to start playing the Oscar music to the guys, and I was like, I gotta eat dinner. Like, we gotta go. Like, come on.
I was about to
wrap it up.
Yeah.
I was about to make it a joke, but then I kind of thought it was mean. I was like, how much Metroid is there to really talk about for 2.5 hours?
You'd be surprised, I guess. There's a lot. Metroid has turned into the new virtual theater. Actually, virtual theater used to have like 3-hour long episodes, and we've kind of slimmed that down a little bit. But now Omega is just like fat. You know.
Ooh, goodness.
Yeah, so maybe some trimmage is in order, but nonetheless, we, my friends, are here today to discuss and predict the 5th annual Fall Brawl Character Contest. I'm pumped about this. Corey, I think you're the perfect complement for us for this episode.
Yeah.
Because I think that, I'd like to get into it a little bit with you. But first, before we get there, I think that we should start our fight off with another pair of combatants, Miss Aletha and Mr. Richmond here, because a piece of news came out this last week. Yeah, well, here we go.
I've been boxing lately.
All right, so a piece of news came out. A common complaint about fans from Tears of the Kingdom is that they don't really acknowledge what happened to the Sheikah tech, the Sheikah shrines and towers and all sorts of guardians, all sorts of stuff just kind of disappears after the game is over, and is not mentioned at all in Tears of the Kingdom. And so, in a recent interview, The Telegraph's Jack Rear noted that actually, I'm just going to skip to the exact quote here, but they asked Nintendo about this, and Nintendo has its own internal explanation, as explained by Fujibayashi-san, and I quote, "They disappeared after the calamity was defeated. All of the people in Hyrule also witnessed this, but there is no one who knows the mechanism or reason why they disappeared, and it is considered a mystery. It is believed that since the calamity disappeared, they also disappeared as their role had been fulfilled. It is, anyway, commonplace for mysterious events and strange phenomena to occur in Hyrule. Thus, people have simply assumed the reason behind the disappearance is likely to be related to an ancient Sheikah technology, and it seems there is no one who has tried to explore the matter further." So, we talked about that for a long time. Al, you're shaking your head. Your thoughts?
I really struggle with it because all I asked for is just a one-off line in the game that just gave us some kind of, like, if somebody said, like, if you're at the Skyview Tower and Purah is just like, yeah, it was really weird, like, all the Sheikah tech disappeared, so we had to build these instead, you know, that's all I asked for, you know, and I really struggle with it, and then to have the director come and be like, yeah, they just disappeared, and everybody's, like, so desensitized to, like, mystical things happening that they're just like, nobody cares, it's fine. They're like, whatever. And I'm like, Zelda, like, cared about that Sheikah technology a lot. Purah cared about it a lot. Robbie cared about it a lot. You don't think they would have been out there trying to figure that out? Like, also, at the end of Breath of the Wild, Zelda's like, hey, we're off to see, like, one of the Divine Beasts. It's not working. So it's still there after the calamity, you know? And I'm sure if we saw...
I forgot about that.
I'm sure if we saw a pan of the world, you still see the towers. I would have to go back and double check. So it's just like, when did they disappear? It just feels like the fact that Nintendo is like, they have their own internal explanation. Like, why can't you share that externally so nobody's questioning it? I felt very validated by the statement that it's a common, discussion from people. They're like, whatever happened to that stuff? So that's just my take on it. I just would have liked a one-off line in the game that I could be like, oh, okay, just all disappeared, whatever.
I was smiling as you were making that argument because I agree with you 100%. But I was smiling because sometimes it's just nice to have someone else complain about the lack of attention to detail in the series. I'm with you, but before I give my thoughts, Corey, I think that you're on team. Who cares, right?
I'm on team. What does it matter? The stuff's not there because this is the next video game, and why would it be there? And this is their
it's a direct sequel in the same exact world.
Yeah, but it's not like this happened a week later. I feel like that is more than enough for me. I didn't even need any of that. Like I could have just. That was already what was in my mind already. Is like, okay, we've seen they've repurposed at least a little bit of it in the Skyview Towers.
Which I'm not fighting against. I totally agree with that.
So then I like that it left the space for me to fill in the blanks to be like, okay, well, the rest of it's just gone. I don't know. They probably got rid of it. Maybe they were afraid it was going to get corrupted again because it was literally attacking them for 100 years. Maybe it just disappeared in the same way that it magically appeared, And like the fact that they just gave this explanation, I think is like, all right, cool. It gave an explanation for the people that needed it, regardless of if you like it or not. That's what they're saying happened. And like my thing about the whole Hyrule being desensitized type thing and about your want of like throwaway lines in the game of being like, oh man, where'd this technology go? Like, could you imagine if like this happened 6-7 years ago, everything disappeared, and right now, like the world is falling apart. There are boulders falling from the sky. The castle's floating, and someone in Lookout Landing is just like, "But what happened to the technology?" Like, get over it, man. It happened forever ago. Move on.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, it still could have been an easy line. Nobody had to be freaking out about it in that moment, And it's just kind of funny where they're saying, "Oh, Hyrule's desensitized," but then the world's like the sky is falling in these ring ruins, and everybody's like, "Forget, we got to study this. We got to figure out what's going on." They didn't do that when the towers disappeared.
They did that when the towers showed up, though. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so crazy stuff happens. Crazy stuff shows up, and they're like, "Man, we got to look into this," and then it disappears. Like, what are they gonna do? It's just gone. It's not like they can.
But they're not gonna wonder why.
They probably wondered why for like a year, and then they were like, "Well, there's nothing we can do about it because it's gone." So
here's the thing. I actually think you're both right. Like, on your side, Corey. Like, yes, that stuff obviously needed to be gone just practically to make room for the new stuff in Tears of the Kingdom, and so
fair.
It's not going to be there. And in the grand scheme of things, like it really doesn't matter. Like it, and a lot of your arguments like make sense. Like yeah, we don't want this stuff because it was already taken over by the calamity juice somehow. We don't know how, but it was somehow taken over.
The greatest mystery in all of Zelda.
However, I do think that like it's the little things. It's the little things that add up to a point where you're just like, oh, okay, like, surely it doesn't need to be, like, a focal point or whatever, and yes, we can all make those assumptions, but, like, why wouldn't you just say that in the game? It's a perfect opportunity to mention that? The school, when you're having the history of the calamity, like, why not just say, like, and after the calamity was done, we got rid of all of the whatevers, we smashed the towers into bits and we repurposed them. It's the little things, and I feel like there's a lot of little details that Tears of the Kingdom just kind of skips over or asks you to just not worry about because it doesn't matter. When like, I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter, but like it's also nice to just have some, like, I don't mind having a few loose ends, and this is, I don't know if this is one that I would like necessarily die on. Like the hill I died on was the malice stuff. I hated it. This one I'm a little bit more like whatever, but I still like, yeah, like it's not like people don't ask and don't notice and don't care. So like just the smallest little thing, and like for someone in your position, Corey, if you don't care about it, you're like, okay, whatever, that's exactly what I thought happened, right? Like,
yeah, well, that's the main thing is that like a lot of the specific complaints you have about the continuity between these two games, in my mind, I'm like, this is the same world. Everyone is living their own lives, and it's like probably 6 to 7 years later at least, right? So I don't need people to remind me about the things that happened in their lives 6 to 7 years ago, because realistically, they're living in their lives now, you know. And it isn't a hill I'm gonna die on either, because I don't think they did it perfectly. I just think it doesn't matter to the point where they don't need to. Like, whether or not they have the throwaway lines doesn't really influence it to me. Like, I agree, that would have been a good idea for, like, one of Simon's lessons. Especially when you're already teaching him about the calamity. It could have just been like, yeah, and then all the stuff disappeared.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know.
I get where you're coming from in that. It's just, I think I struggle with the fact that it's a direct sequel, and there's no, like, it just doesn't feel like a direct sequel. It feels like a game that's, like, they tried really hard to make it its own standalone thing, and I get why they wanted to do that in case of new fans, but Breath of the Wild was wildly successful. They even say in that same interview that they were following up probably one of their largest successes in the series. Like, I feel they could have followed it up a little bit better with, like, just some more continuity, more connections, and just, I don't know. That's all.
I agree. I agree with you.
What I would want. Now, let me just say, as a quick preview to a future episode we're going to do, I still rated this game extremely high. I love this game. I just have a couple issues story-wise, connection-wise.
You know, I just want to say, I want to give this quick preview for our Best Zelda Ever episode, which is, it's still probably like a month away. However, I will say there is one game that jumped up like 8 spots on my list this year. Do you have any idea what game that is? Could you guess?
I don't know.
Twilight Princess, of course.
You know what?
What else would it be?
It's not Twilight Princess.
I didn't think so.
A game that jumped up 8 spots?
A game that jumped up 8 spots, yeah. I played it a lot this year, and I liked it, but this year I was just like, man, this game is awesome. So I'll leave that as a teaser. Okay.
Was it Legend of Zelda? Hey.
Ooh.
Legend of Zelda.
Andy, you want to guess what game jumped into my top 10 this year?
I already know. Corey, you guess.
Zelda 2, of course.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's still my last place.
Oh boy.
Spirit Tracks.
Nope.
I think that was that already in your top 10? Pikmin. I love Pikmin. Okay. Let's get to it, because we have a lot to get to today. We are going to be predicting the 5th annual Fall Brawl Character Contest Halloween Havoc edition this year. So I'm going to give a rundown of what the heck Fall Brawl is. So we've done 5 episodes like this on the podcast throughout our time. So what this is it's a contest, it's a popularity contest, almost strictly a popularity contest between Zelda characters. And it's formatted in a very similar way to like a March Madness bracket, where you'd have a 1 seed, you'd have a 16 seed, and those 2 characters will compete in a poll where you vote for who you like better, and whoever gets more votes goes on to the next round. And there's 64 Zelda characters, and they keep progressively going through the first round to the second round to the third, all the way to the end, and so yeah, until there's only one character left standing. So this is the 5th year that we've done it. In the past, the champions have been Midna, who won the first year. Skull Kid squeaked away with the victory in the second year. Sheik dominated in the third year, and Girahim took the victory last year. So those characters are retired. They're not in the competition anymore. But this year is exciting, because there are a bunch of new Tears of the Kingdom characters and some Breath of the Wild characters that I think got the Tears boost. So I think like this field is wide open. So it's gonna be exciting. And so in years past, what we've done is and actually maybe I'll back up just a second here as well, because I skipped over a vital piece of information. So you have until October the 22nd to actually submit a prediction for who you think is going to win. I want to repeat that. Who you think is going to win, not who you personally would choose, because if it was up to me, Uncle Rupee would win the contest, but he's not making it past the first match. So you fill out a bracket for who you think is going to win round 1 and then round 2, all the way until just like March Madness, you pick exactly who you think is going to win the whole tournament, who you think is going to be in the finals, the Final Four, the Elite Eight, etc., etc. And so you can, first of all, you can do it just to have some fun and have some bragging rights to say like, haha, I knew better. But you can actually win some Zelda Dungeon swag, including, I think we've all got a couple t-shirts over on that store, so you can rock your Heel Spiteri merch or your Allison Aletha merch. I don't know who would want to wear Corey stuff, but maybe they're out there. I don't know.
I've done several shirts that are on there though. So my he'll
always be supporting Corey.
Well, if you want, yeah, maybe don't take the ones that Corey's fingers have touched, but
you'll never know.
Our ZD shirts are always bomb every year, so I dig them. Yeah, like the marathon shirt.
Somebody in our chat just asked what our go to hell Corey count is, and actually it's 0 so far. But there's a lot of episode left. Don't you worry about that.
There's no chance that I'm in an episode and there aren't at least like 3 go to hell Corey.
No, that should be a shirt actually on the Zelda Dungeon merch store. We got to get on that.
Andy and I will be talking about something like in our day, and Andy's like, "Yeah, the weather's nice. Go to hell, Corey."
Okay, so you fill out the entire bracket. You can predict who you think is going to win, not who you want to win, who you think is going to win, who you think is the most popular character, and then if you're right, you win a prize. And so with the way that it works is you get a point for being right in the first round, you get 2 points for being right in the second round, 3 points in the third, etc., all the way to the final match. So what we have done in years past, now that I've just emphasized you pick who you think is going to win, not who you want to win. In years past, we've just picked who we want to win and filled out like a kind of fun bracket that way. But this year, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to actually put our noggins together, and we're going to try and come up with a winner for this Fall Brawl contest. And all of us have submitted individual brackets. And if for some ungodly reason this Zelda Cast bracket wins, we'll give away the shirt to someone. We'll do a draw or something like that. But yeah, here we go. Are you guys ready? I think the best way to do it is just to get into it.
Yeah,
I just want to say before we start, the best thing about this field this year is that there's only one non-Legend of Zelda character.
Oh, go to hell, Corey.
That's the best. That's the best thing.
I wish that there could be more. I wanted to fit more in, but I couldn't justify it with all the new Tears of the Kingdom characters.
Every time I see a field and there's just like 7 non-Legend of Zelda characters, it just makes me mad every time.
Okay, well, like at a certain point, like I'm adding in like Bongo to the tournament. Like, do we need to see Bongo, or do you want to see like Amaterasu or the Tunic Fox or someone cool that's not exactly from Zelda but still sorta Zelda?
Did we get the Tunic Fox last year? Was he in the Fall Brawl last year?
He was. So last year, actually, there were more non-Zelda characters than Zelda characters because we had Zelda versus Smash with some supporting non-Zelda characters on the Zelda side, including Amaterasu and Tunic Fox, who both lost. So,
bummer.
Okay, so let's start off with our first matchup. Raru, who is going to, I think he's going to be a player in this tournament. I really do.
I do too.
Taking on Uncle Rupee, the Hugh Hefner-esque villain from Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land, who, this is Uncle Rupee's 5th Fall Brawl appearance, if you can believe it.
I believe it.
I wonder why.
Is there any way that Raru does not get, let's say, 90% of the vote here?
No,
this is going to be a blowout for the ages.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. This is going to be a tough one. I'm sorry, Uncle Rupee, but I don't think your first victory's coming this year. All right, so Raru is going on to round 2. Let's go to our second matchup. The Moon from Majora's Mask is taking on Tauro, a.k.a. the guy from Tears of the Kingdom with like the 12 pack and the open vest. I think the Moon is gonna win.
I agree. I don't think people. Okay. I think Taro was there to like you could connect with him as a character, but I don't think he did. Not like people connected with like Purah or Sidon. So I'm going with the Moon.
I would have said Taro, but I'm outvoted because the Moon is a moon with a face and not a character. So I
think 8 times out of 10 I'm going to take the Tears of the Kingdom character this year, But this is one of the 2 times that I'm just like, I think people dig
The moon is iconic.
Yeah.
The moon also doesn't
we'll see.
isn't a person.
Well, there's a couple of those in this tournament actually. So let's continue. Okay, Mifa is taking on Rivali. I'm really curious to see what the champions from Breath of the Wild are going to be like this year, because do you think that like they're just going to kind of like move down a couple pegs in popularity, or do you think they're going to stay the same? I kind of think
I personally, I think people have kind of like, I don't know. I feel like they're going to go to the wayside a little bit. Yeah, I think people are going to be more focused on Tears of the Kingdom, and they're going to forget all the cool stuff from Breath of the Wild and even Age of Calamity and stuff.
I do, in my own prediction, think that Urbosa is still going to go far, because I still feel like Urbosa is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
I'm bummed by this answer. I would personally pick Rivali, because I like Rivali over Mifa, but I think Mifa's going to go through.
Mifa's doing it.
Same as Al. I would personally pick Rivali, but Mifa's going to win.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a great matchup. I have to pat my shoulder for this matchup here. This is a great matchup, Andy. Good job. Robbie versus Bagu. Do you guys know Bagu?
Of course.
I'm in the management chat. I know who Bagu is.
I know Bagu. What do you think? Do you think the Riverman carries him to victory, or do you think, unfortunately, Robbie might squeak one out here?
I don't think enough people know who Bagu is to care about him.
I'm predicting an upset. I think Bagu's pulling away with it.
Oh my god, are you serious?
I think the meme power is strong enough. And I think everyone knows the association with error. And I think Robbie, honestly, was kind of lame in Tears of the Kingdom.
He was kind of lame. I can't pick Bagu over Robbie. I can't do it. I hope you're right.
We are talking about our Zelda Dungeon community mostly.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people here know Bagu.
True, but I wonder, do the people on like Facebook and Twitter, do they know Bagu? I don't know.
That's a good question.
This is one of the ones where whatever you guys put through, I'm okay with. I really don't care. I'm indifferent either way.
I think whoever goes through is just going to get killed the next round.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Sure.
Okay. Let's pick Robbie, but if you don't know Bagu, you should know Bagu. Okay, Demise is taking on Terrako, everyone's favorite baby guardian from Age of Calamity. I think Demise is gonna do it.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought Terrako, just because of recency and that he was so beloved.
I think Demise too.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think Terrako was like, oh, cute baby guardian, but I don't think it goes much beyond that, because he's just a cute baby guardian.
I had a dream
Whereas Demise has like a long-lasting impact on the series, whether or not you like him as a character.
Very true.
Yeah.
I had a dream that they did come out with DLC for Tears of the Kingdom, and Terrako was in it. And it was like a shock to everybody, and everybody was so excited.
Now that would have been cool. That would have been sweet. I had a dream last night that I was in the tank level in GoldenEye. Remember that level? No? I watched Casino Royale last night, so I kind of had in my brain. All right. Yeah, you know what? We got a great point in chat, by the way. And if you don't know, we stream these episodes every week, Sundays usually at noon on twitch.tv/the Zelda Cast. But Rodrigo says that Skyward Sword HD came out after Age of Calamity. So and they sold about the same, I think.
It's true.
Yeah, so.
It's true.
All right. Plus, Demise is just cool. I like Terrako, but I mean, he's not cool, right? Like,
I would pick Demise over Terrako, but for some reason I thought Terrako would be more popular.
Okay. Oh, this one I think is a spicy meatball. Vati versus Cece, the mushroom hat lady from Tears of the Kingdom.
I don't think people are voting for Cece.
I don't think
they
either.
are either. But what if they? I could see this. I could see the upset happen. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if it happened. But I don't think it will.
I feel like Vati's one of those characters where it's just like because people want more of Vati, they vote Vati.
Yeah.
Even though he's not that.
But I also don't think Vati ever makes it that far.
Vati made it to round 3 last year. I was gonna say Vati's a safe like round 1, maybe 2 victory. Yeah, yeah. He's not gonna contend to like win or go deep, but usually he's good for a round or 2. Okay. I'm excited about this next one. Master Koga versus Yona, Sidon's fiance. And so I think Koga is gonna have a big. He's got like the Bane Venom juice in his arms this year. You know, like I think he's gonna have a big tournament.
Okay, I agree.
And I think
more so than anything, like I think his voice performance in Age of Calamity was one of the best parts about that game. Mm-hmm. And then he got like a full like storyline in this game.
He was awesome in Tears. I never thought I'd be saying that he's awesome, but like,
funny
here
guy Koga.
And people
I feel bad for saying this. People hate Yona.
I don't get that.
I know, I don't either.
He's awesome.
I think it's because, I mean, I didn't really, like, love Sidon from Breath of the Wild. I thought he was fine, but I also think he's a love bomber, which is not my love language at all, so I kind of, like,
what is
deter
a love
away
bomber?
from him. When somebody just, like, loves you so much, and it can be sometimes manipulative, that, like, for love in return.
Oh.
Not that I'm saying Sidon is like that.
He's a supportive words of affection kind of guy.
But, like, it's just, like, too much, and I'm like, okay,
job.
back off. Like, maybe I'm just not a touchy-feely person, but... Anyway, so people were, like, really up about Sidon, and then he gets a wife in this next game, and so they don't like her, which is unfair.
I just want to say, like, if I think Yona's going to lose this one, but like, if anyone has time, like, go read the Zora tablets that Sidon rewrites in Tears of the Kingdom, because there's a section where he talks about Yona, and it's really touching because she was like almost a sisterly figure that he looked up to, and then it developed into like a romance type thing. It's really nice.
That's cute.
That's sweet. I love that. I wish Yona could make it far, but I just don't think she's gonna.
You know, the problem with Yona, which I feel like was the problem with the entire Zora storyline, is it just felt like a little undercooked, like it needed some more seasoning or something like that to, I don't know, maybe to reach its full potential.
Just a little bit more.
I'll tell you what, if they ever make an Age of Upheaval game, I hope she's a playable character. That could be fun. It could be fun.
That would be cool.
Okay, Zant versus Ronson. Well, I think this is... We're talking about the Tears of the Kingdom boost, but I mean, I don't think you're going to take out Zant.
Yeah, I thought about that for a second. I was like, oh, Ronson's cool, but then probably not that much cooler after Tears.
I think Ronson could probably beat some characters, but not Zant.
Yeah, not Zant. I think so, too. Too bad. Okay, speaking of characters that got injected with the Tears venom here... We got Purah going up against the battle-tested Guardian. I think Purah's gonna. I think she's gonna have a good run in this tournament.
Yeah, I was about to say that too.
I think Mami. Sorry, I mean Mami. I mean sorry. No, I mean I think Mami. Sorry. The Guardian is losing.
The Guardian's losing.
Well,
I love it. I almost had Purah winning, to be honest, but she doesn't in my bracket. But I think she gets pretty far. She gets really far.
She's gonna do good.
I think she's gonna go.
She's gonna do good. Yeah. Hey, I like Purah. Nothing wrong with Purah.
I like Purah too.
Yeah. She's good.
If she got a husband, I'd be mad. I'm just saying.
That's fair. That's very. Okay. I get it now. That's very fair.
The Hero Shade.
Put it the other way around.
This is good good booking, Andy. This is another good matchup. The Hero Shade versus Prince Sidon. What do we think about this?
Sidon would win this.
I'm going to take Sidon too, but I think this is going to be close because Hero Shade is typically done like very well in this tournament.
Okay. I think Daddy. I'm sorry.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Corey.
Fish Husbando is beating Hero Shade any day of the week.
Oh God. Well, okay, that's unanimous. But
listen. That means it's Purah and Sidon, the two thirst traps of the Switch Zelda games.
Let me raise you this. Okay, this is the real daddy versus mommy matchup here. Bolson is taking on Paya. Paya? How do you say that?
It's Paya, like papaya.
Yeah, papaya.
Papaya. Hey, Bolson. Oh, baby.
Hey, papaya.
I'm taking Paya. I think she's
gonna
win. I think she's gonna win.
Bolson.
I don't.
Come on, Bolson.
You know what? If this were, I don't know actually.
For reference, Paya's done pretty well in the tournament in years past.
Oh my God, Bolson though.
This is who we think is gonna win, Al, not who we think would be a great life partner.
You don't like.
I think Bolson would be a great partner.
You don't like Bolson in this game because he doesn't recognize you.
Yeah,
well, I mean, wouldn't that upset you?
I almost swore.
What if you came on this podcast and I was like, "Go to hell, whoever you are. I don't know who you are."
Bolson is a busy guy. He's the most busy real estate developer tycoon in all of Hyrule. He's not going to remember everyone he sold a house to. Come on.
He's not going to remember the 100 hours he spent building my house for me.
How many houses
and all
do you
the
think
money
he's
I
built
gave him?
in the years since?
I think he's
right?
built one house. I think he's built one. I think it was that one.
You think he was just sitting there the whole time and he was like, I guess I'll build
mean,
a
Yeah,
house.
that's exactly what I
I have
think.
a question, actually. I have a question. So he develops those little square houses in Hateno, and then Hudson takes it and runs with it to the Akala region, and now he's selling these houses like they're his. I think that's a little sus.
Hudson is he's a cruel businessman. He's ruthless.
No way.
Yeah, those house
He
pieces
is,
are
yeah.
expensive.
Hudson's the man. I think
I'm not
I
saying
think it
he's
was
not
more
the
of a
man,
thing-
but he's on his business, you know?
I think it was more of a thing where Bolson's a free spirit. He started the development of this, and then he was like, Hudson, I need more of a business mind to take this over for me while I go off on my own adventures. And he's more about the craft of it, you know? Bolson's more the artsman. Hudson's
Okay.
the businessman.
That's fine.
This is a
Bolson's got
tough
the dance.
matchup. I wish that both of these
love
guys could go
Bolson.
far.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
eyeliner icon.
Another inanimate object coming up here. Saria is taking on the Bargainer statue.
I think Saria is going to take that.
Why is that character even? All right.
I just
So
said it like
I made
Saria.
a list. I wanted to.
Saria.
Let me take you behind the scenes. I wanted to have the like at least half the field be Tears of the Kingdom characters, even if they weren't like including people like Riju and Yunobo and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm running out of like characters here, like cool characters. I was like, the bargaining statue. He's kind of cool. He sells you like cool amiibo stuff. I like him. It's good stone.
I don't know what
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
a good
It is
stone.
very cool.
All right. The Happy Mask Salesman is taking on Taba. Did anyone fall from grace more than Taba in this?
Yeah,
new,
that was kind of a bummer. I really like Taba from Breath of the Wild.
I don't
I
actually.
I think he wasn't that popular in Breath of the Wild, but I actually like him in Tears of the Kingdom. I like that they kind of push him to the side and he's just like the chief now.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a better spot to appreciate his like seriousness.
Yeah.
Because like as one of your homies who's traveling with you in Breath of the Wild, he's kind of lame.
Yeah.
I think.
True.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that they replaced him. Like I think Tulin is a huge upgrade over Taba. Taba was too similar to Rivali, I think, unfortunately. Both kind of moody, both kind of sassy, serious in their own way. I don't know.
It's like a Rivali light.
Yeah, like Diet Rivali, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Diet Rivali.
Okay, this could be a really good. This might be our closest first round
Rivali's
matchup
hero.
here. Riju is taking on Marin from Link's Awakening. So I think a year ago Marin would have won. I don't know. What do you guys think about this one?
I am a big personal fan of Marin. I think Marin is fantastic, but I agree. Marin has never performed in this tournament the way that I want her to, or the way that I think she should. And I think Riju has only gotten more popular. So I would
Yep.
say
I think I'm
Riju's
with you.
gonna win.
Yeah.
I think Riju had a huge upgrade in this game. Not that she needed one, but she did. Like, she became a true leader, and she was so strong. And then I just love her, like, innate hatred for Ganondorf. She's like, F this guy, and, like, was ready to stand by your side. I thought that was so cool. The only issue I had with Riju is she was never where I needed her when I needed to use her attack. But that's not her fault. That's the game's AI fault. So, like...
I think like she was also, for my money, one of the most fun characters in Age of Calamity as well. For whatever that's worth, it might be worth nothing, but like, yeah, I think
felt like
that
her
she,
dialogue was slightly different enough in that same cutscene too that it was like a little more fresh. And she was my last one.
Are you talking
know what I'm
the
talking about?
sages?
Yeah, where she's like, "Oh, the imprisoning
yeah.
war." You know, hers was just slightly different enough that I was like, "This is all right, cool."
I don't know about that, but I do agree that I think she's going to take out Marin. Although I love Marin, and it's too bad that she. I think Marin is what she is, and she's going to be kind of like Vadi, like good for a round or two usually, unless she's got the wrong opponent in the first round. I think Riju's the wrong opponent.
Yep.
Okay, Dark Link versus Daruk. I'm going to take Dark Link.
I said Dark Link also.
I'm gonna say Dark Link too, which I think is a crime, but for some reason everyone loves to vote Dark Link in
He's cool.
this tournament. So
That's why.
he's
cool.
Again, he's not even a character.
But he's cool.
It's like I have this bugaboo with characters that aren't actually characters. I'm like, why would you vote for them? But I know people are gonna vote for him, so.
You know why you don't get it, Corey? It's because you're not cool. People like a cool character.
Not as cool as Dark Link.
No, you're not as cool as Al and I. Also,
not even as cool as Daruk. What a
I
shame.
don't think Daruk is cool. Actually, I don't know.
I thought he was sweet. I thought he was fine.
Yeah, but that's not cool.
Sweet can be cool.
Sweet, fine, not cool.
Can it? Can you think of a guy who's really sweet and really cool?
Sidon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good call. All right, let's move on. We'll get back to you about that. Minoru, the Sage of Spirit, is going up against Pen, the seemingly replacement for Cass in this game. I think it's Minoru, right?
I'm not so sure about this one either way. I personally think. I think in my prediction I went Pen.
I went Pen in my prediction.
Really?
But Minoru's part of the main. I don't know, because it depends like how much side stuff you did. Really.
True.
I just think like Minoru is just like a cool character. She's a sage. She's got the construct. Like she's cool important to the story.
I feel like depending on how much you played of Tears, you really connect more with Pen than you do with Minoru, in my opinion.
Wow. So you guys are taking Pen.
So. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think Minoru was.
You've got at least 15 side quests with Pen.
The last thing in the game, when you finish the game, is Minoru's goodbye.
Zelda had more.
And I was like, all right, fine. Like, okay.
I will admit, it didn't seem like that placement was earned, but I mean, it is there. Like, I'm surprised. I took Minoru.
That's true.
I think okay, well, we could take Pen. Pen it is?
Pen it is.
All right, let's do it. Urbosa versus Batru, the friendly monster from Skyward Sword, but this friendly monster's time is up, I dare say.
For sure. Yeah. For sure.
Okay. Phantom Ganon versus Balaira. So for anybody that's not anyone like me out there that's not really great with names, Balaira is Riju's bodyguard, like the jacked Gerudo, who's awesome, who helps you in that wicked siege. I love Balaira.
I think it's Buliara.
Oh, I'm sorry. Buliara? Shouldn't the I be before the A?
L-A-R-A, isn't it?
Riju says her name in the game, and I think that's what it sounded like.
Okay. Well, if I butchered it, I'm sorry. Yeah. I can't remember. Either way, I unfortunately I don't think she's gonna move on. I think Phantom Ganon is gonna do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, Groose versus Groose versus Josha. Did I spelled Buliara wrong? That makes sense. I read it like I spelt it, and I spelled it wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. I mean I think it's gonna be Groose. Like I don't think anyone was just like,
it's even like
Josha is super popular. Like I love Josha.
I think I'm gonna be honest here. I think Groose is taking this whole tournament. I think it's Groose.
Wow.
Groose was in the finals last year, wasn't he?
No.
Wasn't it Groose and Girahim?
I don't have Groose going far,
I think actually. It was in the final. I think it was Impa.
Or was it Urbosa?
It might have been Urbosa. Urbosa made it far. Yeah, Urbosa. It might have been Urbosa.
I think I predicted Urbosa to win last year.
Okay.
Groose performs very well. Consistently.
Yeah. Groose. I would choose Groose in this bracket.
Okay, I love it. Epona versus Darunia. What, you're salty about this one?
Stupid horse.
Oh my god. Go to hell, Corey. Jeez. You're talking about the beloved steed, an elf's best friend, who's been there through thick and thin.
What's your beef with this horse?
You were there when we were doing the puzzle and the marathon, and I couldn't get the horse's freaking head together. And then that was the start of this avalanche, and then literally every fall brawl, I'm like, people aren't going to vote for Epona. It's just a horse. She has like a line of dialogue in the whole series, and everyone's like, no, I love that horse, and I'm like, Epona has busted my bracket more times than any character.
Well, you know what? Fool me once, shame on you, but fool me twice, 3 times, 4 times, well, it seems like you can get fooled again. So I'm taking Epona.
I took Epona just
Who's the
because I know
second person?
people like Epona. Darunia.
I think Epona's winning.
Popular.
Yeah.
I think Epona's winning, but I don't want her to.
Okay, that's fair.
What's
I think that's
wrong
fair.
with you?
She's a horse.
Can you zoom in on that camera? Can we see a heart inside that body? I don't see one. All right. Here's another great matchup, and another kind of inanimate character. Nightmare from Link's Awakening is going up against Tingle.
Tingle.
Yeah, for sure, Tingle.
I think Nightmare's going to win. Actually, people hate Tingle. It's true. Like they hate Tingle on this site.
I think that's like an old school. I think people used to hate Tingle, and now I feel like people appreciate.
I'm telling you, I don't think they do. I think they just like every year. I've kind of tried to set Tingle up for a little bit of success, and every year, like for reference, Tingle lost to Samus last year, and I know Samus is a popular character, but she's not popular on Zelda Dungeon. Tingle was one of the only Zelda characters that lost to a non-Zelda character last year.
I would still take Tingle. I think Tingle's going to beat. I don't think Nightmare.
Right. I don't think Tingle's going to make it super far, but I do put Tingle over Nightmare.
Oh, he's not going to make it past the next round, that's for sure. Which is Impa versus Syrup. No Syrup love?
But I love Syrup, but Impa's for sure
Impa.
Win.
So for anybody that doesn't know who Syrup is, by the way, she is the witch that is making her little concoctions. She shows up in A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds, and I think she's in Link's Awakening too, right?
Because the little one that flies around's name is Maple, right? So it's Maple and Syrup.
Yeah, Maple.
I like Maple better than Syrup.
I think so too. Yeah,
Syrup is cool too.
Yeah. This could be a good matchup here. Queen Sonia versus Malaya, the horse god. Did I say that name right? Malaya?
Malaya?
I think there's an N in there. I think it's Melania.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Melania.
Oh, maybe I spelled it wrong.
Whoops.
It's a pattern.
Oops. Melania.
I think Sonia would take this one.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so too. But
especially
I think she's
after Tears. Nobody's really riding horses in Tears, so horses aren't really dying that much.
Yeah,
that's true.
But I feel like I think that Melania had more of a presence in Tears than in the first game in Breath of the Wild.
No. I think pretty early on I got like one of the side quests from Melania, and I was like, I don't really. I'll do that later.
Melania has this weird like horse upgrade feature thing, but you have to like have a bunch of ingredients for food.
Carrots and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this didn't feel really worth it to me.
Okay, well, Sonia's going on. Here's a matchup right out of Tears of the Kingdom. Tulin versus Colgera. I am also expecting big things from Tulin this tournament.
Mm-hmm. I feel Colgera's not really a character. Now, if we were doing boss fights, that's a different story, but Tulin's probably taking it.
I think this bottom section of the bracket has a lot of characters that aren't characters. And one non-Zelda character.
I don't think I really like Colgera as a being. I just like the boss fight Colgera. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. All right.
Yes.
Let's keep it going here. Fi versus King Ikana.
Fi.
That's going to be a good
Fi's
match.
not going to go far.
I think King Ikana is going to get blown out of the water, unfortunately. He's cool, but...
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get blown out, but I think it's going to be like a competitive, like, 60-40 kind of match. I think King Ikana could have had a chance to succeed against a different opponent, I think, but not against Fi. Twin Rova makes their return to this tournament after a couple years off, taking on Hilda.
Hilda.
I think it's kind of tough, but I also think Hilda.
I think that's going to be close. I seem to remember Twin Rova didn't do all that great last time they were in the tournament, but I don't know why. If it was just because of where they were placed or what. We'll see. All right, this is another great matchup. Good booking. Hudson versus Monk Maz Kashia. Down, 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 down.
I have Monk Maz Kashia, but again, I don't have Monk Maz Kashia going very far.
I have Hudson. Yeah. Okay.
You mentioned
Especially with the boost from Tears of the Kingdom, I think Hudson is going to get a jump.
I think it's.
Okay.
I actually think this is going to. I wouldn't say it's going to be a blowout, but I think he's going to have a comfortable win. Put it that way.
I think so too.
Okay.
Okay, Malin versus Linebeck. This is going to be a blowout. Malin's going to crush Linebeck.
So sad.
I don't even know which one. I actually think people like Linebeck though.
You know,
not enough.
I don't
Linebeck
think
never
they
does
love
well
him.
in this
Yeah.
competition. Like he never does well, and sometimes he's up against people where it's like, oh, obvious win, but he literally never does well. So
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Hudson would be a fun playable character in Age of a People. Yeah, that'd be great. All the signs and stuff that you can.
Build signs and houses on top of
That
people.
would be awesome, actually.
he
Okay,
gets an assist from Addison.
Yeah.
Drip King Unobo is taking on Kilton. I think Unobo is gonna. He might have the most venom juice in his veins in this whole tournament.
So I was
I
like,
don't think so, but
I
okay.
was doing this bracket, and every time I got to Unobo, I was like, no one likes Unobo. But then I forgot we were talking Tears of the Kingdom Drip Mask Unobo, and I was like, that he rocks in this game. He is so much cooler than like anyone.
He's so awesome. I wish he stayed like Drip Noble the whole game.
I agree. I think Unobo's winning this matchup.
I do too.
Yeah. Okay. King Gleeok versus Addison. I think King Gleeok is going to win. Although I'm not confident in that.
People really loved Addison.
Do they?
Yeah. I think like I got sick of him because I did
funny.
every single one of his signs, but that doesn't mean that like a lot of people were like, "Oh, Addison like they really wanted to help him."
I didn't. I did like 6
got a lot
signs
of
and I was
love.
like, "No, I'm not doing it anymore."
I actually really like those like little puzzles to keep the sign up. And I think Addison's gonna win because King Gleeok is a boss.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's
So I guess we're taking Addison. All right. The Lord of the Mountain versus Queen Gibdo. I think the Lord of the Mountain is going to be surprisingly popular. Not Epona level of popular, but like I think Lord of the Mountain is going to do like pretty decent.
I like Lord of the Mountain.
Yep.
Okay. Our last matchup of the first round here, we got Dead Hands, everyone's favorite creepy, crawly enemy, taking on the Sun Goddess from Okami, Amaterasu. I think it's going to be Dead Hands.
It's gonna be Dead Hands.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the first round done. We better just jump in and get right to the second round here. So let's go all the way back up to the top. Our second round matchups. We've got King Raru versus the Moon from Majora's Mask. I think this is going to be an easy one for Raru.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
Raru's pulling away.
And you could say the same about Mifa and Robbie. I think Robbie, his time is up, which sets up a great third round matchup. This is a good one. I think could go either way. Demise versus Vadi.
Ooh, that is a tough one.
You know what? I am gonna take.
I had this matchup. I don't remember who I picked.
I'm gonna take Vadi because I think he's just a bit more popular, and I think Minish Cap just came out, I believe, on NSO. I don't think it was out this time last year, right? Or maybe if it was, it just came out. Either way, I think
Came out in like February.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think more people might have played Minish Cap in the last year than Skyward Sword. Maybe.
I think I'm gonna go Vati as well. I think
Oh,
Vati's
dang.
more iconic.
Oh, dang. Okay. I mean, I was going to go Demise because of your reasoning for the first time is like he has such a hand on the whole series that.
You
Well,
can make that
that's
argument.
That's true, but I think Vati is the main antagonist of
also,
the games.
Let's consider this. Ganondorf took on a very Demise look in Tears.
That is
true.
Something I was thinking.
But it wasn't Demise.
No, it wasn't Demise, but it was a very Demise look.
Yeah, definitely.
Demise adjacent.
It definitely was.
Demise adjacent.
I think even if he was like called like I don't know, this is obviously a horrible title, but like Demise King Ganon, even if there was like something to tie it more firmly, I think it would be Demise, but
Ganondorf Hyrule's Demise or something.
Yeah, something like that. I think Vadi's gonna squeak it out just
Okay.
All right.
I agree.
Okay, Master Koga versus Zant. This is a banger. This is good booking. Good job, Andy. Oh man.
This is good booking. I'll give you the W for this one. This is good booking.
This is an intense. I don't know who to take.
So this is kind of funny. They're both characters that like really just lose out because of Ganondorf, but I have Master Koga going all the way. So I'm Master Koga on this one.
Oh my. Okay.
Wow.
I was gonna say I think whoever wins this probably beats Vadi next round too.
Yep.
I think so too. I also think it's Master Koga.
I do too. I don't know, but
He's got that power.
I think like history would tell us that Zant has obviously been far more popular than Koga. I don't know. I'm expecting big things from our boy Koga after Tears of the Kingdom. All right. Would you care to do the honors for this next one? Purah versus Sidon.
You can't.
Mommy versus Daddy.
Yeah, you can't make me choose between Mommy and Daddy.
I'm taking Mommy.
That's not nice.
It's obviously Mommy. Like, I feel like Sidon got knocked down a peg in Tears.
I think so
and
too.
Purah got stepped up. So
I agree.
People are just like, he's married.
Daddy.
Mommy's not married.
yeah,
Mommy's
that's
not
true.
married.
Good point.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a PG.
I actually think that Purah is going to win comfortably in this matchup. I could be wrong, of course, but that's my thought. Okay, Paya versus Saria. This is a good matchup too. Man,
this should
good
be
booking.
Bolson versus Saria, whatever.
I think this might be a blowout. I think it's going to be Saria.
I think so too, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Who are you choosing? Who is it again? Paya versus Saria?
Yeah.
I think Paya would win.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like Saria performs very well too.
Yeah, she usually does.
That Ocarina of Time bias is strong, you know?
True. Very true. I have it, so I know. Hey.
I'm afflicted, I understand.
All right, let's move on. Happy Mask Salesman versus Riju. I think this could also be close.
Riju's killing it. I don't think so. I think Riju's taking it.
I think Happy Mask Salesman is going to take it.
I agree. That's another one where like I like Happy Mask Salesman. I don't like Happy Mask Salesman as everyone seems to like him, and that always kind of shocks me because I'm always like, wow, people really like Happy Mask Salesman. I guess
again, he's just like a cool,
really
creepy character. Like
how he just ropes Link into his business. And
I feel like
loses him.
This tournament has taught us that you don't have to be like a big three-dimensional character to like be popular. Like you could just be kind of cool and be popular.
He's great because of the mystery.
Yeah,
probably. Yes.
You know,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
That's an open-ended thing that I like. You know?
I also like Happy Mask Salesman. Don't get me wrong, despite what I'm saying, but like, I just feel like Riju took a huge boost in Tears. So
she did. I'll tell you this, Al. If Riju won, I wouldn't be shocked.
I
would be surprised, but not like shocked.
No, actually, I would be shocked because I have Riju going up against Purah later, and I just there's too much Purah juice, so like I don't think she could beat out Purah.
Oh, dear. Let's move on. Dark Link is taking on Pen. His Dark Link is gonna kill this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a shame. Okay. I love Pen, but it's Dark Link.
Urbosa takes on Phantom Ganon. Urbosa's gonna win.
Update the page says this is a juicy episode.
This is a juicy episode.
Yep, this is. That's what Fall Brawl is all about, baby.
There's Bane juice.
Who was the lineup?
Purah juice. Ganon juice.
I'm taking Urbosa to the next round. Let's just move on.
Okay.
This next one I think is a rematch, either from last year or a couple years ago. But Groose is taking on Epona, and I think it was close, but I think Groose won. I think Groose won.
I'm pulling for Groose.
I would want Groose to win, but I remembered the popularity of Epona, so I set Epona in my own bracket, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think Groose is one of those characters where, like, even if you put him up against someone who's, like, iconic or very popular, people are just like, okay, but he has an amazing arc.
He does.
He's super charming.
I'm a sucker for redemption arcs, so Groose has got one.
The Groose is loose in round 2. Moving on to round 3. Okay. Tingle versus Impa. Oh, boy.
See, this is where Tingle's going down, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the thing. Sometimes when we have a character that has more than one like iteration or whatever, are we just thinking specifically Breath of the Wild and Tears Impa, or just Impa
I think
in
it's
general?
up to the voter.
Yeah.
Okay,
When
because
when
Impa
I
in
think of
general,
Impa, I think
definitely.
of Skyward Sword Impa. That's the
I do
immediate
too.
first thing that comes to my mind.
I usually do Skyward Sword or Hyrule Warriors, the first Hyrule Warriors Impa, because she was pretty BA too, but
I think of Oracle of Seasons and Ages Impa.
Oh,
you would.
yeah. Too bad she's not going up against Purah. Okay. Sonya
flying, Andy?
is taking on Tulin in the next round, and I think Tulin's gonna smack her
Tulin will
down.
take it.
I think
Corey,
did
what's
people
your opinion on
Sonya?
Sonya? Let's take a short detour here. But I was kind of disappointed with Sonya. I thought she was really underdeveloped, and I had big hopes for her.
I think it's just a matter of like I wish we saw more of her. I don't think what
Yeah.
we got was bad, but I love. I think this is like a super sweet like subtle plot story thing is that she's fulfilling the mother role that Zelda
I thought
never
the
had.
exact same thing. Yeah.
Even to the point of where like they start talking about Link, she's doing the motherly thing of like, who's this Link?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I like her.
As
but-
soon as you kind of see Sonya in the game, and I was like, oh yeah, Zelda's mother died, and this like figure kind of like could like fill that role a little bit. I thought the same thing, so I did like that.
Not only
I would
as a
like
mother
more.
figure, but also as like a mentor for using some of her powers.
But
which is
also, like when Sonya was killed, like that was a very traumatic moment for Zelda too. You could tell how scared she was in that scene, and that was like rehashing the whole thing for her.
I think
can
like
buy that.
I liked her. I wish that there was more. And you know what? I've told Al this before, but like there was something about Sonya. I was just like, it was either her or Minoru, but I was like, one of these guys is not on the up and up. And I was waiting for Sonya to like turn on Zelda, and like she was like Phantom Zelda, and it never happened, but it could have, and that would have been cool. All right, Fi versus Hilda. I think this is gonna be an easy one. I like Hilda, but she's kind of like Vadi. She's usually good for a round. I don't think she's ever made it to the third round.
Oh, I thought Hilda was actually really popular. I have her going very far.
Oh boy,
this
is why you've never
Hilda's
won Fall Brawl, and I have.
Okay.
I think
I
people
never
like
said
Hilda.
I was good at this.
I agree with Andy. I think
wish you could
Hilda's
see my
good for
face.
a round or two, and then
Okay.
like
I was gonna
just
say people
heavier
usually
hitters.
don't like Fi. People are like, oh, Fi, and I'm like,
I think Fi
She's
also
done pretty
goes
well, I
pretty
think, in
far
this
usually,
tournament
doesn't she?
historically.
okay.
Yeah.
I could be convinced otherwise. I'll put Fi up there.
I wish people could have seen the face I made to Al when I was saying that, and also people could have seen her roll her eyes as I was making that face. Okay, Hudson versus Malin. I think Malin is gonna win easily here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't think so?
I think it might be. I don't know. I think Hudson is getting a boost from this game. I don't. I could
think he
believe
is
that
too.
Malin would win. I just think it's going to be tighter than you guys think.
I think it'll be a comfortable win. Like I'm thinking like it's not gonna be a blowout, but I like maybe 60-40 in and around that range.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I could buy that.
Okay, Drip Nobo versus Addison. I think Nobo's gonna kill him.
For sure.
Yeah.
I had Addison, but that's okay.
Uh,
It must have been on a different part of the internet where like people freaking love Addison. So.
Yeah. Allison's reading like the
I'm not going
Addison
there.
subreddit. It's like everyone loves him on here.
yeah. Stories people write are just okay. Last matchup of the second round: the Lord of the Mountain versus Dead Hands. This is another great matchup. Light versus dark.
Lord of the Mountain for me.
Probably Lord of the Mountain.
I think I took Dead Hands actually. I think because of the Halloween factor. I think this could go either way though. So Lord of the Mountain sounds all right. Okay, into round 3 now, and we've got some banging matchups here. With starting off with this one, I think this is going to be a good matchup. Rauru versus Mifa. So like, I think Rauru, but like I was kind of making my and I had Rauru going far, and I was like, am I overestimating like how much people actually liked Rauru? Like, because he's not in the game like that much, but I just thought he was really cool.
It's really cool. He's got
tough.
good voice acting.
Yeah.
He just like plus like the shock factor of having a Rauru back in the series, like I feel like that was big for me.
Okay.
I kind of think he's in the game a decent amount actually.
Yeah,
Compared to because he's in like most of the cuts, the memories. He's also floating around the Great Sky Island in several parts. he's like in most of those beginning cutscenes, and then he's in the end cutscenes and stuff.
I gotta tell you, probably one of my favorite cutscenes, like aside from the obvious, is him and Rauru and Ganondorf when he seals him, and they're just having this like
that's
one-on-one
sick.
conversation. It's
Yeah.
so good, and I was like getting goosebumps because they're talking
Yeah.
about Link, and I was like, oh god, this is such
That
a
was
good scene.
Yeah, that was one of the coolest ones.
Raru,
I think
he was sweet.
you had asked me. I don't know. Like Mifa's a strong character for sure, but I think Raru's gonna pull away with it.
Did you guys get the feeling that Mifa also kind of fell with tears because she's like, all she's got is just that statue now and that and
a
Mifa's
little,
court,
yeah, a little.
and that's about it.
Yeah, so much that what's so funny is that like Sidon is gonna become king, and basically one of the most first thing he does, he's like, so that great statue of my sister, let's like move that on a mountain so we can make a statue of my best friend riding me.
Right.
Oh man.
Yep.
Hey, when you're king, you can do whatever you want. All right. Vadi is taking on Master Koga. I think Master Koga's gonna take it.
It's Koga.
I got Master Koga.
I think we committed to Koga over Zant, and I think Zant would beat Vadi, so I think we have to commit to Koga over Vadi.
Yeah.
All right. She's back. Mami's in action. Purah versus Saria. I think it's gonna be Purah.
This is okay. Wow. All right.
This is gonna be a nail biter.
I honestly think in my prediction I might have said Saria, but I honestly have no clue. This could go either way, so I'll take whatever you guys want.
I think it's going to be close. So this is my thing. I was like, when in doubt, I think I'm going to side with Tears of the Kingdom this year. I think.
Here's my thing. If I had this my way, this bracket would end with Master Koga and Purah against each other at the end.
Good match. Yeah, I like that match.
Cool matchup.
Okay, so Purah's on. The Happy Mask Salesman is taking on Dark Link. Al, what you think?
Neither of those are in my end here, so I'm gonna say Happy Mask Salesman.
I'm gonna take Happy Mask Salesman as well.
I'm gonna make it 3 for 3. Take Happy Mask Salesman. Yeah. Okay, Urbosa versus Groose. This is a rematch actually from years past, and Urbosa won, and I think she's gonna win again.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm personally taking Groose, but like
personally Groose.
If someone's gonna take Groose down, it's probably gonna be Urbosa.
Mm-hmm.
The next round isn't gonna be a walk in the park either, because you've got Impa taking on Tulin. And I think Impa's going to win, and I think Impa's a contender to win the whole thing.
Oh, I said Tulin because I feel like the reception for Tulin was extremely positive.
I'm taking Impa.
Okay.
All right.
I do think Tulin's pretty popular, but I don't think he's as universally beloved as, especially because Impa, like, if you don't like one of the versions, you can just be like, okay, but this other one though is awesome, so I'm taking this one.
It's almost like a cheat code.
Yeah, it's kind of Impa's kind of.
If you don't like old Impa, you can think of other Impa from Oracle of Seasons. All right.
I'd be correct with Impa.
Fi versus Malin. I think it's gonna be Fi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Malin's great, but I think this is about as far as she can go. Corey, do you concur?
Yes, okay. I do.
Drip King Unobo taking on the Lord of the Mountain. The Lord of Drip versus Lord of the Mountain. I think it's Unobo, guys. I think he's doing it.
It's Lord of Drip.
I would personally say Lord of the Mountain, but it's definitely going to be Unobo.
Okay, so we have 8 contestants left. We're down to our Elite 8. So let's keep it going here.
Wow.
Rauru takes on Master Koga.
I think this is where Rauru loses.
I don't think it is. I think it's going to be Rauru.
Same. I agree
this is
with Andy.
disgusting. I can't believe we're agreeing like this.
I know. Kind of gross.
This makes me feel sick to my stomach.
All right, this is kind of where the Zelda Cast bracket, my bracket, were donezo. I've got Master Koga winning this whole thing. So
can I be real with you? I took Rauru all the way.
Dang, I think that is overestimating him a little bit.
I was worried about that. I was like, I don't know, but sometimes you got to be bold if you're gonna win, you know?
Yeah.
I think Raru's good for another round or two, but I don't think Raru's winning the whole thing.
Okay. Purah versus Happy Mask Salesman. I don't know, to be honest. This is close.
Probably.
Happy Mask Salesman, I believe, made it to the Final Four last year.
He's very popular. I don't know. He's weird. It always never makes
But
sense
you have to
me.
remember the recency for Purah. I feel like that's going to be a big factor.
Yeah, it is.
I'll go Purah.
Well, I guess so will I, since you guys made the decision. I'm glad you guys made the decision, because that's a tough stake right there. Okay. Urbosa versus Impa. This is a clash of titans.
Boy.
That is. It's like the big badass Sheikah versus the big badass Gerudo.
So this is the question. I feel like this is the question. Is we've kind of assumed that most of the Breath of the Wild champions have taken a dip in popularity, but over the last couple of years, it became clear that Urbosa was the most popular champion. Mm-hmm. So did they dip enough where Urbosa is not going to beat Impa? Because I think I would have taken, if this was last year, I would have taken Urbosa. I think pretty easily.
Pretty sure I had Urbosa winning last year. That was my guess.
I did too. I think I'm gonna stick with it and take Urbosa, but I don't feel good about it.
I think I took Urbosa as well.
Okay, I'll defer to your guys' judgment. I don't know. I have no clue.
If you made an argument for Impa, like I could be swayed. Like I think it's. I think it's close.
Weird because I think the thing that I just said last round, funny enough, I also think is kind of a double-edged sword, because like she has so many iterations that you can pick and choose which one you want, but because of that, it's also like a little bit of a lack of identity type thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas Urbosa is Urbosa, and she's very popular.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
True.
I mean, I think whoever wins this matchup too gets like a pass to the finals. Like, let's go to the next match here. So this is Fi versus Yunobo, and I think like one of these is going to be a Final Four, but I don't know if either of these characters is like a legit like Final Four most popular character. You know, I think both of these guys would lose to both Urbosa and Impa.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I'm gonna take Fi.
I'm gonna take Fi too.
I would, same.
This is as far as Drip Nobo goes.
Okay.
If he stayed that way the whole game,
he'd win the tournament.
Yeah.
Back to back every year.
He's so cool.
He's cool. Okay, the final four of our tournament, guys. Wow. We got Raru versus Mami. Raru versus Purah. I think Raru's going to beat her. I think this is where Purah runs out.
I don't think so. Because like I said, if this went my way, I would have Master Koga or Purah like at the end winning this thing. So I would say Purah. If I can't have Master Koga, I'm going with Purah.
Oh, jeez. I think I got to go with Raru. I don't know.
Yes.
I think I got to go with Raru. I'm sorry.
Al's
Purah's amazing.
She's like, I'm signing off. Goodbye.
It's
my bracket's out
though, because she does have more of a role in like some of the main plot stuff in this game, but not compared to Raru.
Let me ask you a question now. Have you ever dropped a Go to Hell Corey on the show? It's very satisfying, and if there was ever a time,
I don't feel that in this moment. Like I did feel it at the beginning of this episode.
Okay. Maybe we could get back to that feeling eventually.
I dodged it.
Okay, Urbosa versus Fi. I think Urbosa is gonna beat Fi.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty handedly.
I agree.
Which takes us to our tournament final, which is Raru versus Urbosa. And I think this will be close, actually. I think this will be really close. But I think it's gonna be Raru.
If it's for this bracket, I would say Raru.
Okay, well, I think I actually might have picked Urbosa for this one, but
so I had this final matchup in my personal bracket as well, and I wrestled.
You're taking
with
Raru?
In my personal bracket, I had Master Koga versus Urbosa, and I said Master Koga, which is such an interesting matchup if you actually think about it.
That's a great matchup. Yeah,
I think I have this similar matchup, but swap out Urbosa for Groose because I have Groose beating Urbosa in that matchup.
Gotcha.
I think Rauru would beat Groose. I think I would feel good about that pick.
I actually think I don't know. I disagree. I think Groose would have a better time against Rauru. But I also think Urbosa would beat Rauru. So
this is gonna be tough. This might be the closest
Hard.
finals that we've had since the second year.
The only reason I think Rauru would come out on top is because of Tears. Like, Tears just came out. Urbosa's barely even mentioned in Tears. And I know how popular Urbosa is. And a year ago, yes, that's what I was on the Urbosa train. I just think it's just too recent. And so Rauru's going to come out on top.
You sold me.
The only thing that makes me hesitant about that is that we have gone through this entire bracket with the assumption that everyone loves Rauru. What if just the three of us love Rauru?
Yeah, what if everybody's
That's
like,
my fear.
Rauru?
And it is taking a gamble because Urbosa has performed incredibly well in this tournament before. So
it's risky business. Like it's if most of the Tears characters are a bust or like there's not like that Tears boost, like we're toast. Like it's gonna be an ugly. It's gonna be like that year I took the Breath of the Wild trailer theme to win Musical March Madness and it got killed in the first round. That was a tough look.
I think Tears of the Kingdom boost or not, we know Purah is gonna perform incredibly well.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, she's gonna be good. Okay, so I think we're taking Rauru. We're taking Rauru. Okay. There it is. I'm submitting. I'm saving. And our prediction has been submitted. So there we go. We
did it.
If I don't think there's any chance Rauru loses in the first round, update the page. But there could be some very serious. He could lose in the third round. I could see that to Mifa, or he could lose certainly to Urbosa or to any of the other people that he fought. I
losing to Mifa, to be honest. Like I don't know. I barely ever think about Mifa anymore.
I'll tell you, if Rauru's going to lose, I want him to lose to Uncle Rupee, because that'd be awesome.
Oh my God.
That'd be the upset of the century.
Oh, boy. Okay, well, if you had fun listening to this and you want to go and fill out your own prediction, I hope that you guys filled out your prediction while you were listening to the episode. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Whoops. But go fill out a bracket. You can win some prizes. And once again, pick who you think is going to win, not who you want to win. This is just a popularity contest. It's not who would win in a fight. It's not who has the... It's just a popularity contest. So go and take who you think would win, and you can predict the whole tournament just like we did. This is a lot of fun, guys. It's a good show.
Yeah, I always love these shows. They're first of all, they're just nice and easy. But also it's just like it's such a fun time to see like who we I guess think was gonna win in the end. So I always have fun with these.
I agree. I also prefer Zelda Cast episodes where I'm on it.
That's funny because I usually don't like the episodes where you're on it, but this one is okay. This one is all right.
This one is all right.
Yeah, I think we didn't quite hit our threshold. I was really hoping for an Al GTH today, but we didn't quite get there.
Didn't get there.
Maybe someday.
I should have done it a few weeks ago when Corey and I were like really at it in the Discord. I should have done it then.
Great.
That was probably the moment where I wanted.
I would have pinned that and made that like my Twitter banner. Just like... Good stuff. All right.
It's all in good fun, Corey. I do love either agreeing with you or debating, so it's fun.
I like pushing both of your buttons.
Yeah, sometimes. All right, we are going to get out of here. Corey, thank you for joining us this week and being the third man in our prediction episode here. Tell everybody where they can check you out and, of course, your other Tier Force compatriots.
Yeah, you can find me on, I don't know, any social media. My name's Corey Richmond. But, like, more importantly, if you're listening to this, you like this, go check out the Zelda Dungeon YouTube channel because we have a series called Tier Force Heroes where me and Gu and Nico rank things in tier lists, and we have a mailbag. And we more recently have done a series called Talking Tiers where myself, Gu, Nico, and McKenna just talk about Tears of the Kingdom stuff. So go check that out and subscribe. It's
kind of like if this was like the drive home radio show. They have like the AM radio show. It's very good compliment. So if you like what we do here, I'm sure you'll like what they're doing over there as well. So go check that out. And yeah, that's gonna do it for us. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna be talking about what we want to see from the next 3D Zelda game next week. And by the way, so we got a thing going on. So the show after that, we're gonna be reading you Zelda fans, your spicy Zelda takes. Although we've asked you to submit your spicy Zelda takes, and then Al and I are gonna rank it if we think it's actually spicy or not. So if you're submitting something that's just like Ocarina of Time is a fantastic game, well, that's an ice cold take. Even though you're right. It's not a spicy take. So we've asked people to DM them to our Twitter account. We're not going to read them until we actually do the show. So that's going to be fun. So you can get in on that. You can also, if you're on Discord, DM Jules, and she's compiling a list of all of these spicy takes. Someone asked us what defines a spicy take. I don't know. We're going to find out. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's
Twilight Princess is ugly is a spicy take.
No, that's an ice cold take. Everybody knows that.
I submitted a few, so maybe that's the week we can get Go to Hell Corey from Allison.
I hope so. I'm going to cheer when that happens, not if that happens, when that happens. So yeah, that was a great Al idea. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, we're out of here. You can check us out over on Twitter. We are at the Zelda Cast, at Spiteri316, at Allison Alifa, at Corey Richmond, and I believe that we're all on Blue Sky as well, and have the same handles there, so you can check us out there. Of course, wherever you get your podcasts, go and check it out. Like, subscribe, recommend, review, rate, share. Word of mouth is fantastic, and we really appreciate everyone that tells that Zelda fan in their life about this show. So thank you so much, and keep that up. We're on Patreon. We just dropped a great episode of the Zelda Cast Top 10s where we talked about scary moments and dungeon music. So no guesses for what my favorite dungeon music in the series was. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we had a really good show actually. And if you're a patron, you can come on the show and podcast with me. It's a good time. So patreon.com/SBNet. All right, that is going to do it for us. Until next week, everybody, take care.
Bye.
Hey everyone, if you enjoyed this clip and want to see more of the Zelda Cast, make sure to head over to your favorite podcast platform of choice and subscribe. There are over 200 episodes in the vault that will provide you with hundreds of hours of Zelda content for you to enjoy. You can listen to us when you're on a walk, fighting Ganon, trying to sleep, whatever. And if you want to see these shows as they happen, make sure to head over to twitch.tv/the Zelda Cast, where you can watch our beautiful faces talk about Zelda every single week. Don't miss out, and we'll see you next time.